today's lesson. This lesson is about adding and subtracting fractions with like and unlike denominators. First of all, I hope everybody had a really good Monday. Hopefully everything went well with your first day of trying out the Google Classroom. Again, if you need my help, please reach out to me. I have my email on Google Classroom. Also, I'll put my number on there too, so you can reach out and text me if you need any help. First off, if you are working at home and need some workspace, please go ahead and get a blank piece of paper. Fold it half like a hot dog, and then half again like a hamburger. When you open it, you should have 4 blank spaces on the front, and then you have 4 blank spaces on the back. That way you have 8 different places to show your work. Again, I will have only 8 problems, so you should have enough to be able to do all of your classwork on these 8 blank spaces. Okay, I'm going to get into the lesson. So yesterday you did reflex, today is Tuesday, so we're gonna go ahead and get into a do now. I'm gonna read the do now first, and then I would suggest setting a 5-minute timer to give yourself some time to try and complete it. We have gone over this type of problem before, so I want you to try your best. Try to visualize what the problem is asking. If you can draw a picture, which you should be able to draw a picture for this problem, please draw one and make sure you're underlining important information and you are boxing keywords that mean add, subtract, multiply, or divide. There might be some key phrases, not just one word. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna read the problem, then I'm gonna tell you to pause the video, set a 5-minute timer, and then go ahead and show some work. All right, let me get up the problem. All right. Miss Bigley wanted to feed the cross-country team after practice using the leftover pizza she had for dinner last night. She had 1/3 of the pizza left over and split it evenly between 5 athletes. What fraction of the original pizza did each student get? Okay, please go ahead and pause the video, set a 5-minute timer, give yourself some time to work it out, draw a picture. I will see you back and we will go over the do now. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the do now. So first thing you should do is you should underline key pieces of information. One piece of information that we need to solve this problem is 1/3 of pizza. That's what's left over from what I had the night before. That's what I'm trying to share between 5 athletes. Okay, so make sure that that is underlined. Okay, another thing I want you to do is I want you to find the key phrase, whether it means add, subtract, multiply, or divide. The key phrase, hopefully you got it because we have gone over this type of problem before, is split evenly. Split evenly. If we are splitting evenly between the 5 athletes, that means we are dividing the pizza between the 5 athletes. So one way you can solve this is by drawing a picture. 1/3 of the pizza. I'm gonna draw 1/3. I know how to draw 1/3. So I have a rectangle, I split it into thirds, and I'm dividing it by 5 athletes. So now I'm going to split this into 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to add another. So across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If one athlete gets 1 piece of this, what fraction did I now just make? We can also go ahead and solve it using math. I'm not going to give you the answer yet because we're going to go ahead and solve it using math and then I will tell you what the answer is. Okay, so we have 1/3. We are dividing, because split evenly means to divide. And we are dividing it by 5. 1/3 divided by 5. When we are dividing fractions, we use keep, change, flip. I'm going to rewrite this. Keep, change. And then flip. All right, keep. I'm keeping the 1/3. I'm changing this division to multiplication, I'm flipping 5 over 1. Before I flip the 5 over 1, I have to put this whole number over 1 whole. Now I can go ahead and flip it. 1/5. Now I'm multiplying fractions. Multiply, I just multiply straight across. As I'm going over this, you should be taking notes, so please make sure that your paper is looking like my board. Okay, multiplying straight across, 1 times 1 equals 1. 3 times 5 equals 15. This represents 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this represents 1/15 as a fraction. Hopefully you got it correct. Nice job if you did. If not, it's okay. We're going to keep doing more problem-solving activities every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our lesson. Again, these are just review questions. Everything I'm going over in these videos is stuff that you've already learned. It's just a review to keep those skills that you've learned and retain them so that you can go on to 6th or 7th grade with them. So, next question. All right, let me go ahead and get okay. So our first question is actually question number 2 in the packet. So it is the I do. I would like you to follow along with me as well on your worksheet. So find the sum. Keyword is sum. What does sum mean? We've gone over this yesterday in yesterday's lesson. Sum means to add. We are adding 1/5 plus 3/15. Okay, looking at the fractions as is. Can we add them as is? Hopefully you're saying no, we cannot because we have unlike denominators. First, we need to find our common denominator. I'm going to do that by finding the least common multiple, or the LCM, of 5 and 15. If you already think you know the least common multiple and your common denominator, that's awesome. I'm just going to show you the work to prove it. So multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, and multiples of 15. My common denominator is 15. Nice job if you already guessed it. Okay, next step is I'm going to draw my upside down T, or finding equivalent fractions with my new common denominator of 15. So I already know that my common denominator is going to be 15, so I'm going to write it over here. I'm going to take my original fractions and rewrite them over on this side. 1/5, 3/15. Okay, now I'm looking at my denominators because that's what I have in both of them. 5 to 15, how am I getting there? What am I multiplying by? 5 goes to 15, multiply by 3. So I'm going to show that, multiplying by 3. Hopefully your paper is looking like my board as I'm showing this. And if you need to pause the video at any time to catch up to me, please go ahead and do that. 5 times 3 equals 15. That means in order for these to be equal, I have to multiply by 3 in my numerator. 1 times 3 is going to give me 3. This is now my new fraction that I'm going to use, my equivalent fraction. Going from 15 to 15, what am I multiplying by? I'm multiplying by 1. It didn't change. So I'm also going to multiply by 1 in my numerator. 3 times 1 is 3. 3/15 plus 3/15, remember I'm adding. So 3/15 plus 3/15, I can now go ahead and add my fractions because they have common denominators. I couldn't up here, they did not have common denominators. Down here, because I found my equivalent fractions, I can now go ahead and add them. Adding my numerators, 6. My denominator, it stays the same. We do not add them together. Stays the same. When we're adding or subtracting with like denominators, the denominators stay the same. 6/15. Okay? Let's go ahead on to question number 3. Go ahead and look at question number 3 while I'm erasing this. I do miss you guys. I wish I could be like talking to you guys as I'm erasing this. Otherwise, I'm just talking to my dog and he thinks I'm crazy. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully everybody is being nice to mom and dad, siblings, sharing that computer. I know a few of you have siblings that also go to Atlas that have to do work. So I know it's tough coming up with a schedule to do this, but we really appreciate that you guys are finding the time to do the work. Okay, so question number 3, difference. That is our key word, difference. Difference means to subtract, okay? We're finding the difference of 4/8 and 2/8. 4/8 minus 2/8. Okay, first thing I'm gonna ask, can I subtract as is? Do I have common denominators? Are they the same? Yeah, they are. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I don't actually really have to do the work. 4/8 minus 2/8. In my numerator, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4 minus 2. If you're not sure, you can always put 2 in your brain and count up to 4. 2, 3, 4. 2. My denominator, because I'm adding and subtracting, they stay the same. 2/8. I can show this drawing a picture. 4/8. Oh, I might need a bigger box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I have a box showing 8s. I am drawing in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm taking away 2 8s. Ooh. 1, 2. That means I have 2 8s left over. Just another way to show some work, even though this is really easy math work, right? Okay, next question we're gonna do is question number 4. Please make sure that you are sticking with me doing the work on your blank piece of paper, especially when it comes time to that exit ticket, so that you can get all of the points on your exit ticket. All right. All right. So, question number 4, find the sum. Sum means to add. It is the answer to an addition problem. So, find the sum, 4 8 and 1/4. 4 8 plus 1/4. Okay, can I add these fractions as is? Hopefully you said no, because we do not have a common denominator. My first step, I need to find a common denominator by finding the lowest common multiple, LCM, of 8 and 4. I'm just skip counting by 8 and 4 to find our common denominator. Skip counting by 8, 8, 16, 24, I'm going to stop there. Skip counting by 4, 4, 8, 12. 8 is my lowest common multiple. I'm going to now do my upside down T to find that equivalent fraction. Okay. Make sure you do this step. I see a lot of kids just putting 8 in the denominator and then adding across. That's not how you do it. Make sure that you are finding your equivalent fraction with the common denominator of 8. So I'm going to put 8 over here because I know that that is my denominator of my final fractions. Then I'm going to take my original fractions and put them over here. 4/8 and 1/4. Okay, let's start up at the top. Going from 8 to 8. Did it change? It did not change. What am I multiplying by? How do I go from 8 to 8? I am multiplying by 1. 8 times 1 equals 8. If I multiply by 1 in my denominator, to keep this equal, I have to multiply by 1 in my numerator. So I'm going to multiply by 1. 4 times 1 is going to give me 4. It didn't change, okay? Because 8 was already in the denominator. Now let's go ahead and do our next fraction. 4 to 8. What am I multiplying by to get from 4 to 8? I'm multiplying by 4, 8. I'm multiplying by 2. Multiplying by 2 in my denominator, that means to keep it equal, I have to multiply by 2 in my numerator. 1 times 2 is going to give me 2. Easy peasy. Now I can go ahead and add my new equivalent fractions because they have a common denominator of 8. 4/8 plus 2/8. Okay, let's just check real quick. Can we go ahead and add as is? Yes, I can. I have a common denominator of 8. Okay, when I'm adding or subtracting fractions, I'm adding or subtracting the numerator. 4 plus 2 is 6. I do not add the denominator. The denominator stays the same, 6/8. We could simplify this. I'm going to leave it as this. We'll do simplifying in another lesson. So let's just leave it as this for now, okay? All right, that is question number 4. Next up, we have question number 5. So go ahead and look at question number 5 while I'm erasing this. I wish I could be commenting and being like, great job, Naomi, I see you working hard. Or great job, Louise, thank you for paying attention. Or nice work, Maria, thank you for following along in your packet. I miss you guys. I miss you guys probably more than you guys miss us at school. So it's really tough to teach nobody in a video. And I also wish you guys could get a view of my dog lounging on my bed. Okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll have like music to play in between this time so that it's a little more entertaining. Okay, here we go. Question number 5. Find the difference. Keyword is difference. Difference. Difference means to subtract. Okay. We are finding the difference of 3/15 and 1/5. Can I subtract these fractions as is? I can't. I do not have a common denominator. So therefore, I need to get my common denominator by finding the LCM, lowest common multiple, of 15 and 5. Okay? Skip counting by 15s. 15, 30, I'm going to stop there. Skip counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15. My LCM, lowest common multiple, is 15. That is going to be my common denominator for my equivalent fraction. Please make sure that you are keeping up with me on the notes. Again, if you need to pause the video at any time to keep up, please go ahead and do so, okay? Okay, so my common denominator is going to be 15. Oh, let me give a little more room. Okay, here we go. So 15 is my common denominator. I found it by finding the lowest common multiple of 15 and 5. I'm taking my original fractions, 3/15, 1/5, writing them over on this side. I'm going from 15 to 15. I am doing that by multiplying by 1. Multiplying by 1. up in my numerator, I need to do the same thing. Whatever I do in my denominator, I have to do in my numerator for it to be equivalent. So multiplying by 1, 3 times 1 gives me 3. 5 to 15, what am I multiplying by? I'm multiplying by, counting by 5s, 5, 10, 15. Multiplying by 3. Multiplying by 3 up here. Okay, 1 times 3 gives me 3. Let's go ahead and rewrite our problem using our new equivalent fractions. 3/15 minus 3/15. Okay, can I subtract as is? Do I have common denominators? Yes, I do, so I can go ahead and subtract. When I'm subtracting or adding fractions, I'm going to subtract or add in my numerator. 3 minus 3 is 0. 15 does not change, right? Adding or subtracting fractions, my denominator doesn't change. 0/15. 0/15 equals 0. Right? Okay. Okay, so we have 2 questions for you to do. You're going to do question number 6 and question number 7 on your own. Go ahead and set yourself like a 10-minute timer to complete these questions. All of the work for these questions is just like what we did for the last couple of questions. So if you need to go back and review, please go ahead and do so. So please go ahead and pause this video right now. Set yourself a 10-minute timer. Go ahead and work on question number 6 and question number 7. So it'd be 6 and 7 on your blank page. And then I will come back. I will show you how to do it. And then it's your turn to go ahead and try the exit ticket. Okay? So pause, set a 10-minute timer. Do questions 6 and 7. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, welcome back. We're going to go over question number 6 and number 7 on the You-Do page. Okay, so question number 6. We are working with sum. Sum means to add. Adding 5/8 and 3/8. 5/8 plus 3/8. Okay, can I add these fractions as is? What did you think? Yes? No? Agree? Respectfully disagree? I know we don't have to do that because we're all at home doing this virtually, but can I add as is? Yeah, I can. So I have my common denominators already. 5/8 plus 3/8 equals 8/8. Now, bonus question. 8/8, what does it equal? You should all know this because we've gone over this before. 8/8 equals 1 whole. If you wrote 8/8 equals 1 whole, extra bonus points for you. Nice work. If you left it as 8/8, that's okay, but I do want you to get in the habit of knowing anytime you see a number over itself, it equals 1 whole. Okay, easy peasy lemon squeezy for question number 6. Question number 7, a little bit more difficult. Question number 6 is the difference. So keyword is difference. Difference means to subtract. Difference of 5/6 minus 2/3. 5/6 minus 2/3. Okay. Can I subtract as is? Agree? Respectfully disagree? Hopefully you said no, we cannot subtract as is. We don't have common denominators. The denominators have to be the same in order to be able to just subtract. We don't have them. So we got to find our LCM of 6 and 3. Okay, so LCM of 6 and 3, that means I'm skip counting by 6. 6, 12, 18. Skip counting by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 2 common multiples. What is it gonna, or sorry, 2 least common multiples. Which one is my least? 6. 6 is my least common, so that is going to be my common denominator. I'm going to use 6 over here to find my equivalent fraction. Okay, I'm going to take my original fractions, five, 6, going from, in my denominator, 6 to 6, I'm multiplying by 1. That means if I'm multiplying by 1 here, I need to multiply by 1 in my numerator, so it's going to be 5, 6. Going from 3 to 6 in my denominator, I'm multiplying by 2. Oops, sorry, wrote 3. Okay, if I am keeping this equivalent, I have to multiply by 2 in my numerator. Times 2. 2 times 2 gives me 4. I'm subtracting 5, 6 minus 4, 6. Hopefully you got this correct so far. Can I subtract as is? Yeah, I have common denominators. I can go ahead and subtract. Remember, adding and subtracting fractions, working in the numerator. 5 minus 4 gives me 1. I do not subtract the denominators. I keep the denominator the same if I'm adding or subtracting fractions. My final answer is 1/6. Hopefully you got that correct. If you did a great job on questions 6 and 7 on your own and you got them correct, then I feel confident that you're going to do a great job on the exit ticket. If you needed more practice, then I would maybe suggest going back and looking at the practice questions, doing some more practice questions on your own, maybe with an older sibling or a parent that can help you. But feel free to use this video however you'd like if you want to go back and look at back into the practice questions. But please make sure you're getting that exit ticket done before you're done with the entire lesson, okay? Bye guys, miss you, hope everything's well. See ya.